Greetings from Southern California. I'm Dr. Emily Letran, speaker, high performance coach, and practicing dentist for the past 28 years in Southern California. I run several multi specialty group practices. Today is one of our wonderful partner now, but we are concentrating you to another faculty of our Doctorate of Healthcare Business program. First, I just want to take a moment and share my screen and just share a little bit about our program. So the program is called Doctorate of Healthcare Business, and we are filling the gap between clinical expertise and business excellence. And I'm just going to play a quick video. Okay, so this program is a program designed for you to learn how to run your business better so you can make greater impact on your community, you can serve your family better, and you can grow yourself better. We have three distinctive tracks for this program. There's a financial track where we're going to start with your personal finance, your cash flow, your debt management, whether the debt is from student loans or maybe it's practice acquisition or practice expansion, tenant improvement, that kind of thing, going all the way to establishing corporate business entities and investment. And then we have business administration, which is something that I'm almost positive 99.9%. None of us in professional school, whether you're in optometry school, medical school, pharmacy school, chiropractor school, you're never taught the true business administration, the hiring, the setting up of systems, how to deal with your staff, how to deal with your patients, the difficult patients, the treatment plan cases, the marketing aspects of the business. And then the third one, which is very unique to this program, is research. We would help our doctors learn how to do research, prepare and defend thesis, so they can make themselves available and they could be out there working as consultants or professors to different schools and different company. I would give you an example of that. For example, in year one, the two tracks running concurrently. One is finance, is the personal and business finance, the debt management, the corporation and entity setup. And then the concurrent track is on business administration. We have business admin basics, business systems, and magnetic marketing, how to create system to get people to come to you, patients who will pay, stay, and refer. And we will also have scholarship opportunity if you maybe want to be qualified for this and maybe you're not able to take care of the fees. We have the scholarship opportunity where you can apply and get the scholarship as long as you write us an essay explaining how, after finishing this program, you will be able to make positive impact in healthcare in your particular um, chosen field. Again, you're just watching that video real quick, the diversity of our faculty, and I just want to emphasize this is a global program. These are for global doctors. It doesn't that you don't have to live in a particular country. All of our doctors come from different continents in the United States, and we are very proud of the fact that we're coming together to provide this service. We're actually also launching a book. It's called Doctor to Doctor Success Strategies Elevating Your Business and Personal Life. We'll be launching that at our upcoming joint event with Action to Win. And I would love for you to come and join the event and learn more about the Doctorate of Healthcare Business Program. The website to check that out is actiontowin.com. And you can go to our website, drhb.org. You can look at some of the financing options, whether it's third party financing or maybe it's in house financing, and schedule a meeting for more information. You can actually personally meet with me. So now it is my absolute honor and privilege to introduce our faculty and our speaker for today, Dr. Susan Tron. Dr. Truong received her Bachelor of Science from the University of South Florida, and after 6 years of doing research, she returned to Nova Southeastern University to earn her doctorate in optometry. Today, she is in her second decade as a highly successful optometrist. She has several practices. She's been featured in magazines, news article, and as an entrepreneur, she and her husband actually are real estate investors and also own a thriving artsy bar in downtown St. Petersburg, Florida. Well, I don't drink, but I would definitely visit your bar if, if I'm in St. Petersburg. Uh, Dr. Tron is a beyond 2020 vision strategist. She has dedicated her life to helping others see beyond 2020. And that's not only do they do better in their life, but they can also are equipped to transform their vision into reality. Today, her devotion is based on the core values of commitment, believe, and triumph. She says she's deeply passionate about empowering people of the world to have clarity and live a life beyond 2020. Since she is such an expert in growing her multiple practices, doing investment, making positive impact, Dr. Tron will be one of our key faculty teaching finance in the finance track of our Doctorate of Healthcare Business Program. Dr. Tron, good morning, good afternoon from Florida, and welcome to our partner. I think you're still muted.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to share some tips, my story. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Wonderful. Well, this is a question that I always ask the doctors when we are on the partinar. Uh, Obviously, everybody, we have our own business, right? You can just stay in your office, do your optometry, check out your other practices. Why do you choose to be involved and to teach and share that knowledge and make more impact in the community? What is the drive to be more than just the optometrist?
So that I can save many of you out there the mistakes and the amount of money that it took to learn from those mistakes as I was growing my practice from 1 to 5 locations. So what is the driving force? First and foremost is, yes, don't go through. Let me save you time and money. Learn from my mistakes. That is a big drive for me. I want you to, believe me, it's going to be a big save. That's why I'm here. Learn from me, please. Save some money.
Well, because not everybody is a teacher, right? People could be experts in their field. They could do excellent work. They run multiple businesses, but not everybody can actually teach what they do, because it take a certain amount of passion. It take a certain amount of skill, and like I said, it takes that drive. Uh, are you? Does that run in your family?
Um, in terms of A formal teacher, no. But certainly my parents are always teaching us kids, the 5 kids, lessons of life. And I think all of us would agree here, all of us doctors in different disciplines, that we teach on a daily basis, right? We're teaching our patients, we're educating them, because the more information, the more they can learn about what different disciplines that we practice, optometry, dentistry, medical pharmacy, philosophy. The more our patients they know, the better they can tend to their overall well-being, no matter what discipline. I mean, so I mean, would we not agree that we teach on a daily basis? But you're right, some of us are excellent experts in our areas, but in terms of teaching, it is a skill. It is a skill to be practiced. It is a skill to master, because that teaching is, Emily, you would agree, is methodology, but more so communication skills, right? We can use our medical jargons with one another. That's great. But to our patient sitting there who's not in the medical field, we don't want to lose them. So it's verbal skills, non-verbals, right? And we know about the greater percentage is non-communications, and empathy. So when we have all of that, we can better convey the messages we're trying to get out there, whether it's to our clients or to one another here in this course, to our colleagues.
Right. Well, to your comment, I'm always right, by the way. So you should just you should just agree with everything I say.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what I find in our faculty um, in DHB is, I would say, everybody is overqualified. One of the doctors have 18 pages in his CV. It's overwhelming, but it just speaks to the fact that we are experts and we care and we're dedicated to learning, and it's such a great gift that we are dedicated to sharing, right?
Yes.
To help others become better themselves. And I think for me and personally, probably in my blood, because both of my parents were teachers and they just passed when I was younger. But I think it's kind of in the blood where you feel, you know what, I understand that. And just like Dr. Keanu Shah, that's one of his motto is to do one, learn one, teach one.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
absolutely is true that if we're able to do that, then we can make a big difference in our world.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. And I love that motto from Dr. Shah, is that, and that is how we just pay it forward and have that rippling effect. And I always say, and that's how we're going to leave this world better than how we found it. Now.
Right, right. Yeah, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the floor to you. You can just do your presentation. And I understand your presentation today, you're going to be talking about business finance, and you're going to give us some little highlights about what you'll be teaching in your course. And we would love to see everybody attend the program and take your course.
Thank you. Again, I'm Dr. Susan Truong. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am, as Dr. Emily Latran had mentioned earlier, I will be in the finance track, and I'm going to be teaching on personal finance, a personal finance to success. But personal finance is not just personal finance. It spills into business finance. I mean, it's separate, but it's really not. So why am I so passionate about this? When it boils down to finance, and I want you to think about this, whether it's in your personal life, your home life, or your business life, your practices, it's a relationship with money. And in the course that I'm going to be teaching, it's just elaborating, and I'm going to be sharing with you quite a bit here. And what do I mean when I say relationship with money? It's just like in educating our patients. I'll just share my experience with you with my patients. Is I tell folks, look, life is not that complicated. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Us human beings make it complicated. And same with financing. It's really not that complicated. There is this saying, you may have heard it many a times, is live within your means. Okay, that makes sense. It's like, if you have the money, spend it right? Buy it. Don't go beyond that. But I gave it some thoughts actually when Dr. Emily had asked me, okay, let's, we're writing this book. You saw the book earlier there that's going to be presented in about 3 weeks at the Action to Win conference. And in this book, all of us all of us faculty members, we contributed to it. We contributed a chapter. And I thought lots, long and hard, about that saying, live within your means. I agree to it to some point, but here's something else. I truly feel here's a better way of living. And when I say living, again, this is applying, all I'm sharing with you today applies both to personal finance in the home front, business finance in your practice. Don't live just within your means. How about living below your means? I'm going to repeat that. Live below your means. Most of us understand what that means, right? I mean, here's your capital, here's how much you have. Spend less, only as needed, spend less than what you have. You have some extras, emergency, family vacation, whatever, right? But here's the thing, living within your means, relationship with money. Here's what relationship with money is. What is your relationship with money? Do you have control, simply put, do you have control of your money situation? Are you in control? Are you the CEO of your finance? Or does your financial situations, your financial challenges have control of you? I'm going to repeat that. And I want you to really think about it. I mean, are you in control of all the different financial finances? I won't call them issues, okay? In the home front, in the business front, do you have control of that? You've got, I got it handled. Everything's good. I'm paying my bills on time. I've got capital set aside for emergency, whatnot. Are you, the bills are coming, but I've got it taken care of. Everything is paid in a timely manner and all. Do you have that in control? Or are you just overwhelmed because all the bills are coming in and you've got to attend to this in the home front and that and in the office front, and it's just overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bill and all that? I mean, it's very simply put, that's what the relationship with money means. It's either you've got control of it or it's totally controlling you and it's stressing you out and freaking you out. So I want you to really think about that. Because when you can truly understand your relationship with money, then the financing just makes it easier. Living below your means. And we've heard this before, over and over. When we're about to purchase something, I mean, certainly my husband and I, we pose this question to ourselves and to each other. Now, when I say purchase, I'm talking about big purchases, right? Big ticket items, as we would call it. Is it a matter of need or is it a matter of want? Come on, we've all been guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. All these, I look around the house and it's like, wow, do we really need this? It's more so want, right? Now, a little easier, there's a lot more want in our personal life. And maybe in our practices, there's a want to, I want to purchase the latest technology and the this and the that. Or is it a need? Because we know the need. Let's talk about our practices, right? All of us in our different disciplinary areas is, yes, we need the essential equipment, essential instruments to provide and deliver best patient care, right? So they can have the best patient experience. But then with all these latest technology, oh, we want to get this and this, because some of us, again, it's neither good nor bad. It's just different. Some of us like to wow patients with the latest technology. Um, I like the latest technology, but I'm more into wowing the patients with with me, with me and my team, and how we care for them, the compassion, right? How their experience from that initial phone call to making an appointment to coming in to them leaving. So I don't mind spending money on the latest technology at times, but it's not all about technology for me in my practice. So you got to really, again, make that list. Wants, needs. Am I going to impress them with technology, or impress them with me, the practitioner, and how I care for them? In terms of this finance, personal finance to success, I call it. Why am I so passionate? Why do I care so much to share this with all of you? Because I've made many mistakes myself through this journey of growing my practice. I'll share more on that in a bit. I don't know. I would venture to say that many of you, including myself, yours truly here, when we were attending professional school, medical school, optometry, pharmacy, chiropractor, at any of the discipline, there is, I had, and may possibly you, most likely, this is why we decided to create this program here, this DHB program, is we didn't have too many business courses. We had all those courses on sciences, clinicals, theories, etc., understanding the human body, how it all works in our different area of discipline. But when it came to businesses, practice management, financing, negotiating contracts and all, I had very little. Oh, probably, I want to say, I'm lucky if I had like 4 courses on practice management, which taught us different things as, okay, when you graduate, how do you want to practice? How do you going to set up your practice? Go draw up a business plan to get a loan from the bank so you can get your practice going, etc., etc. I learned a little bit of that in school. However, a lot of it was when I came out to practice. A lot of it was trial and error. Unfortunately, some of the trial and errors were pretty, they were expensive. They cost a pretty penny. It was an expensive lesson, shall we say. And this is why I am here today sharing with you about my course, about our program, about the 3 different tracks, but right now talking about the financing track. Why am I here and so passionate? Because I want to save you the mistakes. Don't make the mistakes I did. Learn from my mistakes. Don't make the mistakes that would cost and could cost like it did me. Let me save you all that money. And what I mean in terms of what it costs. Number one, negotiating contracts. I can tell you right now, when I first came out of school, I was pretty naive. Somebody would, my husband, he's pretty good in reviewing contracts, right? And then he's not in the medical field. He's retired now from corporate America. But the language of contracts and the verbiage is not too different. So he would review it with me, and I'd review it. And I was very naive, okay? Because I'll review it, not quite in details, and they say, okay, sign on the dotted line. I could sign, and because I figured, well, what's on here is, I guess that's how it is. This is how it goes. And but as I continue to practice, and I learned more, and I wised up a little more so in terms of the business aspect of running my practice, is that I can negotiate. It's negotiable, the numbers on whatever, right? So I've gotten pretty good at that. I've gotten I wouldn't say shrewd, but pretty tough on negotiating skills. Yeah, that's something to be mastered. That's something to once it's mastered, boy, I tell you, it comes in really handy. So in terms of my experience and how it was costly at times, I've been practicing, I'm 21 years in practice now. I started out with one location and I grew it to 5 locations within about 50 miles radius. And in terms of how it cost me was not quite understanding different locations. They're going to grow at different rate, looking at the demographics, the areas, so on. Staffing, that's a big part of the cost, right? Overhead, whether you're buying or leasing the building, the office, right? Staffing, hiring supporting staffs, hiring the doctors. So I would set up the practice, set up the next practice, get a doctor in there, and have them be there, say 5 days, Monday through Friday. However, as we all know, I don't know about most of you, but I would venture to say in starting out a practice, even if I'm opening from Monday to Friday, I'm not going to have that constant patient flow. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to build patient flow, to get patients in, to get the community to know, hey, I'm here. I'm a new practice. Come see us. And yeah, this is how, and this is why you should come see us. So it took me a while because with the doctor, I mean, if you're a doctor and you're an optometrist, you're working for me, whether you're seeing patients or not, I've got to pay you for your time being there 8 hours of the day. So that went on for a little while. And then my husband suggested, hey, why don't you, let's look at this here because the numbers aren't making sense and all. And let's look at which locations out of the 5 locations, which is busier, which is not, et cetera. And the flow of patients and the demand of the doctor's time is, instead of having 5 days, the stores that's not busier, you're going to have less days, you're going to open less days. And the other one that's not as busy, open less days, busier, open more days. And then don't have the doctor just sit there, but, just learning to really adjust everything, that when the doctor is not busy at one location, you're going to have them move to another location. And where after a while of really letting things go like that, then we did the shift. Okay, that saved a bit more. But I tell you, that was where I lost. I made some financial mistake, is not looking at the whole picture at first and just really jumping into it, just full gut and ready to go 5 days at all 5 locations. Because a big part of it was payroll. A really big part of it was payroll. But again, paying my doctors, paying the staff, and just really learning to shift them. So I really don't want to see you do that. Please don't make that mistakes and save yourself lots of money there. And another thing is, as Dr. Emily asked earlier, why do I care so much about all this? Why am I so passionate about it? Why just not be an optometrist? Be an optometrist. Go to the office, see patients, go home. I mean, why do anything more than that? Because there is, and in terms of the big question as to why, I always tell people, you got to know your why. My why is I don't have to be just an optometrist. I don't want to be just that. I think my purpose, I know my purpose is greater than just an optometrist. My purpose is, how can I make a difference and how can I impact lives beyond my exam room? And I mean, I have been very blessed with my career as an optometrist, my multiple practices. We've all, just like many of you, we've all worked very hard, really hard to obtain our doctorate, to get our practice going, get them thriving, whether it's one location, multiple locations. Hard work, dedication, commitment. But my why is because my why became more apparent about almost 7 years ago, when I lost a younger brother. In my family, it's myself and 4 younger brothers. And I number the boys 1 through 4. It was brother number 2. He was 42 years old, diagnosed with liver 4, stage 4 liver cancer. The doctors told us that he'll have about 3 months. They'll give him 3 months. Unfortunately, it wasn't 3 months. It was 9 days. From the time of diagnosis, from him finding out what's causing all this pain, the doctors sharing with him and him deciding to share with the family the diagnosis, to him taking his last breath. 9 days. In losing my brother Devin, who was also actually in the medical field. He was a PA, a physician's assistant, specializing in pediatric neurosurgery. He got to practice for about 12 years. So that was his second career also. So he certainly started that later on. Very good at what he did. Loved his patients loved him. But in losing my brother, it had me doing more soul searching as to, why am I here? What's my reason? I mean, is this it? I went to school to be an optometrist, so I'm going to retire like this. I'm going to die like this. This is it. I'm having a conversation with the universe here. Okay. Is this all you need from me? This is all that the only way you wish for me to serve. There's no more than that. And any of us, all of you know, us optometrists, unlike say dentistry or other discipline, at least you have some windows. And here's what I mean by that in your exam room. Us optometrists, all day, where we spend most of our day with our patients in a relatively small, dimly lit, windowless exam room. So that was me conversing with the universe. Is this it? I mean, I've been spending all these years here practicing in this small windowless room, and you don't need anything else from me. But in that soul searching, because again, I often tell people, it's not what you do, okay, how you do it, it's who you are, and you got to know your why. Your why's got to make you cry, or it's not your why. Why do we, I mean, I know my why, I'll share with you in a bit, is, here's a question I pose to you. Why do you get up and do what you do every day, even though some days you don't feel like it? Got to know your why. And in that soul searching, my why was to impact individuals, to help individuals, to leave it a better world, as Dr. Emily and I were conversing earlier, to leave it as a better world than how I found it, and to impact lives beyond my exam room. I mean, when we're with patients, yes, we're impacting them, we're making them better, we're increasing their quality of life, right, through our different discipline of practice, right, one-on-one, day in, day out, in our practice. But this why and my soul searching had me understanding that, no, you, Susan Truong, need to take this beyond the exam room. However it is, on whatever platform, whether being a faculty member on DHB here, whether being a life coach, a business consultant, a speaker, which is I'm all of the above. And I'm passionate, yes, because do you know? I know you know. I'm passionate because when we work with the public, like the way we do with patients, I see too many patients, they're they're just merely existing, right? They're just merely existing and not truly living. Too many individuals are just going through the motion of life. They're on autopilot, they're on cruise control. And my question would be why? Why do you choose that when you only get one life? You get one chance on this earth. So why are you just going through it numb in a zombie-like state? You got to live it. You got to experience it with all your senses. So that why drives me to affect lives beyond the exam room. That why drove me to decide when Dr. Emily said, "Hey, are you interested in joining as a faculty member on this DHB, Doctor of Healthcare Business program?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Any opportunity to share, to get my story out there, to help maybe, others to find inspiration and courage, even in some words, sure, why not?" And that brings me to my passion of sharing, success in financing with all of you. You work hard for your money. Now it's about your money working hard for you. And also, we'll touch on the difference between many of you, maybe many of you are already aware of it: active income, passive income. As my husband and I, being entrepreneurs, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. Let me repeat that. Don't work harder, work smarter. Working smarter means having your money work for you. Working smarter is building more passive income versus active income. And it's very simple. Active income is exactly that. We got to take actions to earn the money, right? That's us seeing patients. Active income, another way of saying active income is trading time for money. In order for me to earn that money, I've got to do something. I've got to do something right there, right then. Passive income is different businesses, different investments that you may have, other programs, past that is earning money. Passive income, it's earning money for you. Money is heading into the bank while you're sleeping. So there's so many different avenues, right, to build your portfolio so you have greater success in finance and in that's personal, and then your business. And in your business, part of, well, it's can be part of personal finance also, but it almost can intertwine with the business and administration, is knowing and understanding why it's important to set your business up in a corporation. But then it's not just a corporation. You want to understand which corporation is, I mean, I could speak to us here in the US. Certainly it would be a bit different out of the US. I don't have great knowledge on that. But in the US, you've got to understand, okay, if I set up a corporate entity for my practice, do I want to be an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, which is better, right? Which is of greater advantage? Because I will tell you this, at least in the US, and my mindset and my mentality is always, let's maximize my income, minimize my taxes. So, and there's ways to do it legally. Okay, that's all about the legality also. So that is just a few tidbits I have to share with you. And at the top of the list is, again, don't make my mistakes. Don't let me save you that journey, the long, hard, expensive journey that I went through, because yeah, I can save you a lot of money. Okay, save that money and put it into other investments and building your passive income. That's just why. And you can, whether it's you want to grow your practice, whether it's just one location to multiple locations, or even expand your one practice that you have now. And when we say expand, yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, if I need to expand it, how am I going to expand it, right? I'm so busy now. I need to bring in more doctors. I need to bring in more staffing, supporting staff, et cetera, et cetera. What do I want to bring in-house? What do I want to outsource? All of that. Again, just being smarter with our money. I mean, good heavens, we work so hard for it. Why do we just easily want to just, here you go, toss it out and pay this, pay that? And yeah, we have to pay the bills, but let's find a smarter way to pay it. And I will tell you another thing to simplify when it comes to paying the bills is I would say, I would venture to say most of you would agree is I hate late fees. Okay, so pay it on time, hate late fees, and having to pay interest. So, okay, so interest is part of the economy, but yes, we have to pay it. However, let's find a way to negotiate lower interest when it comes to whether it's leasing or purchasing new instrumentation and equipments for our practices, things of such. It's all those things, as my husband would say, anything is negotiable. So it's just being smart with that. And I really hope that, that you spending time with me today has helped. You've got some pearls, some tips, some tidbits out of it. And we really appreciate you just being here with us today and taking time, watching, listening. And I would encourage you, implore with you to consider our DHB program, Doctor of Healthcare Business program, and the different tracks, whether you want to take all 3 tracks or you feel that you need more, you need more help or want to learn more in one track versus another. That's why we're here. And that's why we've all got together and decided to design this program with Dr. Keanor Shaw leading us. So I hope that helps, and really appreciate you just being here with us. If you have further questions and you wish to find me or contact me, my website is beyondyour2020vision.com. I'm going to repeat that. Beyond, BEYOND, your, YOUR, 2020 vision, VISON.com. My email is Dr. Susan at beyondyour2020vision.com. And, earlier, Dr. Emily had asked, what is this Beyond 2020 Vision Strategist? What is that all about? And that is my coaching, speaking, consulting platform. And I call it Beyond 2020 because as an optometrist, right, when we're in the exam room, we're seeing patients, our goals to patient is always, okay, let's get you to see 2020. Let's make sure, heaven forbid, you don't have any eye diseases, your eyes are healthy, and we can push you and get you to best clarity, which in the exam room is defined as 2020, perfect vision. Us optometrists and the eye care industry, we have set that standard as perfect. 2020, most patients, They understand that. However, perfect in life, perfect in beyond the exam room does not stop at 2020. It is beyond that. Perfect in life, perfect in your, when I say your life, is your vision, living your vision. Whatever your vision is, your dream life, your ideal life, for your home life, for your business, you know, what is your vision of that ideal business and practice that you have or want to build or want to expand? What is that vision? What is, if you have best clarity, right? What does it look like? It doesn't stop at 2020. I mean, in the exam room, we would set the standard as 2020, but you set the standard. You set the standard in your life. Because the question to you is, are you the CEO of your life? Are you the CEO of your life at home, your life in the office? Are you the CEO of your business? Do you have this? You got this? Or are you in control? Because if you don't, is it somebody else or something else? Is it the business running you? Is it the staff running you? Is it the partners, the associate doctors that's running you? Because I don't know about you, but I'm the CEO here. I'm in charge here. What I say is go. What I say, go. Because here's the thing, is in my practice, this is how I wish to run my practice. This is how I wish to deliver patient care. And doctors I'm going to hire, they're going to mirror that similar philosophy of practice. It may deviate a little bit, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's my name. It's my reputation. So in terms of beyond 2020, you define the standard. You define the metric. You define the bar, and you set the bar. How high? You're the CEO. You should be. You're the doctor. You own the practice. Because if you don't, then we need to be having another chat. And that's why I chose to call it Beyond 2020 Vision. Because perfect does not stop at 2020. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Emily.
Wow, thank you so much for your heartfelt share here. You know, as you were talking, I was thinking about one of your marketing strategy for you, because 2020 just happened to be that wonderful year. So you
Yeah.
can actually, now when you say beyond 2020, people have other ideas.
Yeah.
And hey, as long
Thank
as
you.
as long as they understand this is going beyond 2020, right? They could understand it as optometry. They could understand it
As
as
the year.
live visionary, and they can understand it as the year of COVID. You know, it's interesting how sometimes when we talk about finance, like you, how you started, you know, do you live below your means, everything sounds so simple until you start talking about that mindset, right? Because it's not just the dollar or the credit card or the things
There.
that you own, right?
Yeah.
It's what you think is important. Why do you buy those things that you want and not what you need? Because it fulfill whatever, maybe there's a void, right? There's a need to justify, there's a need to show off, excuse me, the status.
Yeah.
And those are stories that we take with us. And we don't think about it. We just think, oh, I need this and I need that and I want this and I want that. And we don't sit down and pause and think, why do I actually do things a certain way, right? Earlier when you said some of us, we don't get a lot of this training in our professional school. Well, as far as I know, nobody get this kind of training in dental school, and of course you're in optometry school, so maybe you guys have a little bit more claims in that. But I think I've been very blessed because I happened to start buying a practice and buying another practice, and kind of like you, from trial and error. You've done it the first time, the second time you get a little smarter.
Yeah.
You ask, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
ask better questions. You can look at a scenario and say, you know what, I know I can change this. I know I can make this work. much like you're buying a real estate investment and you look at it and you say, I know I can flip this, or I know I can do the tenant improvement and rent it out for a much higher rate, right? So if people, let's just start with, let's just say the basic, if they start, if they want to uh, manage their debt, just for example, and like I said at the beginning, the debt here could be their student loans, it could be their tenant improvement. Maybe they bought a real fancy house or they bought a real fancy car. What would you say is the first step to try to manage that?
Well, the first step of managing it is, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. I mean,
Well,
I mean,
what if you already bought it?
oh, what if you already bought it? Okay, and managing it is, look, this is a no-brainer here. Highest interest gets paid off first, right?
Okay.
Anything with highest interest gets paid off first. Okay, and then there's also such thing is there a way to consolidate your debts? Right, because when you work there's different programs and different business entities out there that do consolidation, and you can negotiate and get of lower interest. But it seems so simple to me and you, and maybe to many out there, but maybe not. That's why you're here listening, also wanting to learn. It's simple. Highest interest gets paid off first, gets done first. Just like I said earlier, I hate paying interest, and I hate having to pay late fees. So don't get late on it. Okay. So highest interest goes first, and then from there, and stop spending. Spend out of essentials, right? Even during COVID, we talk about, oh, well, this profession gets to keep going and working because it's essential. Yeah, same thing. Life's essential. What you need to survive. Okay, the roof over your head, the water, the food, the nutrition. So when you say managing it, sure, highest interest, get rid of it. Okay, and then if there's a way to get it into a lower interest, great. Spend less, save more. But you got to save. Oh my God, how many times have we say save for a rainy day? I mean, the stats is how many, God, I don't even know the percentage of folks out there that they're lucky if they have a 6 month salary worth for reserve for emergency and all. So when you say managing that, okay, highest interest, get rid of it first.
Okay, so then there's another question that's kind of related to that one is a lot of time, especially with professionals, we tend to compare, right, with other people, and one of the reasons for comparison is because we were in these little groups, whether maybe you're in an association group or maybe you're in a Facebook group. I mean, I'm in multiple dentist Facebook groups, and sometimes people are sharing like like actually just 2 days ago somebody posted in one of the dental Facebook group for our 20th year anniversary of our office, we're taking all of our staff to Disneyland, right? Which is great. I was gonna write, uh, take them to Disneyland if they achieve the goal, whatever the goal is. It should have nothing to do with the anniversary.
Exactly.
But I didn't want to say I didn't want to say that. But anyway, what are your thoughts when you hear these, the chattering, right? So and so is doing this for their family. So and so is getting a new kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Um, if you're on that track, on that mindset to control your finance,
Uh-huh.
what would be the self-talk
Okay, here's the
that you
self-talk.
say?
The first self-talk is stop comparing yourself to others. My self-talk would be, I don't care. Great for you. You're getting a new kitchen? Great. I'm happy for you. You're taking your staff to Disneyland? Fantastic. Wonderful for you. That's you and that's your decision, but not me. It's like, people, you got to live your life for you. What's best for you in the home front, for you in your business front, your practice front. Okay? It's like, who cares? Who cares what others are doing? You got to get to a point in your life where you have to say, who cares? Okay, you know what? If you're doing it, I celebrate for you. I'm happy for you. But outside of that, I really don't care.
So stay in your lane. In,
Yeah.
in other words, right? And
Yeah.
and 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 I
Just
think
do you, right? How many times have we
right,
said that, Dr. Emily? Do you.
right. And I think a lot of time that's part of the stress sometimes when people when people say, okay, I'm so stressed, because sometimes they're focusing on the wrong thing,
Yeah.
right? They're focusing on those kind of comparison. They're focusing on, how much more can I do for my business in a way. Whereas you should focus on how much more can I do for myself? Can I improve myself? Because when I improve myself, I can improve the business and I can take care of
Bingo.
my family better.
Exactly. Because when I improve myself, self-care, as we call it, right? All of us are professionals here. Self-care. I'm a better wife, right? A better daughter, a better aunt, a better mother, a better doctor, a better boss at the office. Then I improve in improving myself and improving ourselves, right? I'm better for my staff, the team that I'm leading here, and my patients. Because we know there's this energy we put out. It's very simple. It's either positive or negative energy. You're stressing this, all these, oh God, it's not great energy that you're putting out there. But then where you're like, hey, I'm good, I'm happy, life is great. I live this life of gratitude. I am grateful for every little thing. Then this amazing energy, and the staff, they feel it and they're happy you're coming in, you're bubbly, and the staff gets it and they're happy to be there, and your patients, and they feel it and they're like, yeah, gosh, Emily, Dr. Emily, you make it so fun when I come in, even though, you're like, hurting me in my mouth here and you got to do your thing. But you know what? I really enjoy being here, and just your staff. You have such a great group of staff, and it just always feels so, I feel like I count when I come into your practice. Yes, I mean, it's just such a no-brainer. So just be yourself, just be true to yourself. And when you are, everything just seems to fall into place. When we say, what's that saying they have in English? Competing with the Joneses and all that. Forget that.
Keeping up with the Jonases, I
Yeah,
think.
just forget that. Who cares about the Joneses? You know, we just keep
Well,
up with the Latrans and the Truong, right?
well, well, I think part of that is I think we're not looking inward enough, where we feel that, okay, let's say I don't feel I'm good enough. I don't feel that I have achieved enough. And then you have to sit down and look at what are the values that are most important to you. And this is why, similar to you, I go into high performance coaching, because I want people to look at who they are, and if they're not happy with who they are, why, right? And it's not the big why that you're talking about. It's more like the why of how come you're not happy with yourself. Because if you know what are the important values to you, and you know you've achieved that, and you live in alignment with that, then you would be happier. For example, for me, if I say family is important to me, then I don't care if somebody have a bigger office or a bigger house, as long as I'm happy with my family, whether it's my family or the extended family, right?
Exactly.
And they safe and we have time to spend with each other.
Yes.
I'm not looking at that bigger house. I still remember several years ago, I was supposed to go to Jamaica at a dental conference. And then I found out, I don't remember, there was some conflict come up with my kids. And I already reserved the hotel, and I know it's on the beach and all that.
Oh,
And it was a little hard to cancel. I was going by myself because it was a
got
dental
it.
conference. And I remember I just reached out on the Facebook group and say, who wants to go to this? Because I'm not coming, right? And and the reason was I got to stay home with the kids. And I mean, I didn't have to, I just want to. And I remember one of the doctors took over my reservation, and then she sent me some pictures. She said, if you were here, this is what you would see. And it, it was amazing that I look at it and I didn't seem to miss it. You know, even though when I was planning to go, I was very excited. Hey, I gotta go, and it's Jamaica, and I've never been there, and etc. And I was just like, okay, I'm glad it looks great, and you're enjoying it. And I was happy staying home with the kids to
Exactly.
do one of our regular random activity,
Exactly. It is. It's
right?
choices we make, right? It is. It's
Yes,
choices
yes,
we make every day. And you said, well, I mean, it was something to look forward to because I've never been to Jamaica. But you know what, Dr. Emily, you know what I say all the time? There's always next time, right? There's
right.
always next time. Exactly. And you're right, it is priorities. And oftentimes in terms of the coaching since 2020 is I tell people, listen here, if you, because you said, well, maybe I'm not good enough, I'm this enough. Yes, everything boils down to it's confidence, right? Lack of self-confidence, self-esteem, self-value. And when we talk about priorities, I tell people, if this pandemic has not served as a huge wake-up call to really reevaluate and reprioritize life, I have no idea what people are waiting for. I mean, if this does not serve as a wake-up call, what else are you fighting for? What else are you waiting for? And then when you talk about I'm not good enough and this and that, in terms of the individual, right? And let's talk about us doctors, okay? Because that spills into our practice too. And here's how what I've seen, what I've observed, especially in the field of optometry, is when that's missing, this confidence, this self-value, this self-esteem, when it's missing, that translate into, well, the value, then you're not valuing your practice. And here's what I mean by that is setting fees, for example. Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be too expensive and set my fees too high, right? Because then people don't want to come in, patients don't want to come in and see, and they'll go elsewhere. No, okay, no, that's not true. Okay, so I used to be like that. Now, again, like you said, many years of experience, confidence, wisdom. Now, I mean, I'm not the most expensive gal in town, but I'm not down here either. I'm gone up here. I'm like, hey, look, you know what? If I'm too expensive for you, that's okay. I know you have many, many options and many opportunities. Because we know, right, in any profession, the value, once they're in our chair, when we deliver it, they see it and they're like, wow. And they're willing to pay. And from there, it's referral, because it's not short-term, right? We're not talking short-term relationship. It's all long-term. Then we're going to end up taking care of the family and their friends and their colleagues and their relatives and coworkers, etc. And that is how I built it. And I like to believe that many of us have built it through the years. So yeah, all of that comes into play. And that starts with us, the CEO of the practice.
Right. Well, it's been very enlightening, I'm sure, for many of our colleagues to look at finance as more than just, that collection that come in every month, right? Or whatever you deposit in the bank, because like you said, making your money work for you. Maybe you don't deposit into the bank. Maybe you take that directly into an investment and immediately make it work for you. And so I'm really excited that you'll be teaching that part of the finance track, and I'm excited I'll be able to invite my mentor Sharon Lecter,
Yes.
co-author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, to also come on and share her expertise in financing. And so we have a lot of things, a lot of great things to look forward to.
Yes.
Everybody can go to the website drhb.org and check out our program and submit an application, ask about more questions, apply for financing, look at options, maybe applying for a scholarship. So if somebody, on Monday, someone want to take the golden nugget that Dr. Tron delivered, what would you say is a first step, one thing that they can do on Monday to effectively change their finance, whether it's the finance itself or the mindset? One thing.
First and foremost, my one thing, be the CEO. Take charge. Take charge in the home front, take charge in the business front. And once you have that, then everything will come into play.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Tron, thank you so much for taking the time out of your, I know, very busy schedule, multiple practices, your family. And so I wish you a very, very wonderful rest of the weekend. And I wish everybody a great weekend also. Join us for our partners next weekend, and certainly visit us at drhb.org. Thank you.
Dr. Emily, thank you so much for the opportunity. And everyone, thank you for being here with us and joining us. Have a great rest of your Sunday.